It looks like God is ready to pick a favorite again. It's Abram's turn. He's still in this place called Haran with his wife Sarai and his nephew Lot. But God tells him to move. Go to the land that I will show you, he says. Or maybe he says, go to the land that I will show you. I mean, I don't know what God's voice sounds like. And God makes quite a few promises. He blesses Abram and tells him everyone will know his name. He says his descendants will become a great nation. And he says that he will bless everyone who blesses Abram and curse everyone who insults Abram. Abram likes the sound of that. So he does what he's told. He packs up his stuff and together with Sarai and Lot, he leaves Haran. He's 75 at this point. And apparently he also has a bunch of people working for him, so he takes them with him as well. They go to the land of Canaan. For real this time. And it won't surprise you that this is where the Canaanites live. Abram goes to a place called Shechem to visit the special oak tree of Moreh. That's where God appears to him again. And God says, I'm giving this land to your descendants. Obviously, it's pretty rude to give this land away when there are already people living there. But also, which descendants? This is the second time God has brought them up, but Abram doesn't have any kids and his wife is infertile. That's literally the only thing we know about her. It doesn't occur to Abram to bring this up. Maybe he's too starstruck, I don't know. Anyway, God disappears again and Abram builds an altar right there to worship him. Then he goes camping in the hills between Bethel and Ai and builds an altar there as well. He continues to travel toward Negev, but disaster strikes. There's a famine in the land of Canaan. This raises a few questions, like, why? Didn't God say that he was done with his soil and weather shenanigans? And didn't he just bless Abram and intentionally send him to this land? What is going on here? Those questions will not be answered. All we know is that the famine is very bad. So bad that Abram flees the land of Canaan and goes to Egypt. Now, obviously, the people in Egypt are Abram's not too distant cousins. But Abram is pretty damn prejudiced against them. Before they enter Egypt, he takes Sarai aside and tells her she's beautiful. Aww. Yeah, I know. But that's not all he says. He says, you're so beautiful that when the Egyptians see you, they're gonna kill me and take you. So instead of telling them I'm your husband, you should tell them I'm your brother. Then they're gonna be nice to me to please you. So yeah, he's basically assuming the absolute worst about the Egyptians and taking the most cowardly route. But that's the way he wants to play it, and Sarai goes along with it. They arrive in Egypt and the Egyptians notice that Sarai is indeed hot as hell. The Pharaoh's officers see her and take her to the palace. In return for his sister, the Pharaoh gives Abram a bunch of animals that he enslaved. Sheep, cows, donkeys, and camels. And he also throws in a bunch of human servants, males and females. And Abram just accepts this. At no point does he tell the Pharaoh that Sarai is actually his wife. This fucking coward just agrees to the exchange. But you know who doesn't agree? God. His dumbass famine drove Abram to Egypt in the first place, and he probably knew about Abram's plan from the start, but now that it's actually happening, he's not on board with it. So he tells the Pharaoh that Sarai is Abram's wife and that he should back off. Just kidding. Why would he be that straightforward? No, what he actually does is he makes the Pharaoh and other people in the palace very sick until the Pharaoh figures it out on his own. So naturally, when the Pharaoh finally does, he gets fucking angry. He calls Abram over and yells at him. I took Sarai as my wife because you said she was your sister. Why didn't you say she was your wife, you fucking panini head? Here she is, now fuck off, both of you. And he tells his guards to escort them out.